versus going to any other conference?
Yeah, well, when it comes to kind of the Midwestern conferences, there really aren't that many to begin with, and I would say InvestMidwest is probably the most established and has the greatest number of people that come to it, and that really makes it, a much more valuable conference, I think, because beyond that, you've got one in Chicago, you've got one in Michigan, and that's pretty much it. So if you want to see anything in kind of St. Louis, Kansas City, this is really the only place to be.
So if you were to sit down with somebody who might be thinking about sponsoring, what are some things you would tell them about what it's done for the private bank to be a sponsor here?
Yeah, well, I think there's a couple things. I mean, I think Midwestern technology in general has come a long way, but it's still got a long way to go. I mean, we're maybe in the third inning of a 9-inning game, and so some of our sponsorship is predicated on really just doing the right thing for the Midwestern ecosystem. We believe InvestMidwest is a cornerstone of it. Specifically, what we get out of it, we do get to sit down, talk with investors, review what they're going to be looking at over the next year, kind of compare that to our product offerings, and we'll make modifications to what we do based on what we hear. And fundamentally, the brand exposure never hurts. We do get that. Our tech group is about 2.5 years old, so we're a relatively new market entrant, and it helps with that as well.
You mentioned that you're covering VC. You probably know a lot of them around the country. What do you tell them if they look at you askance about coming to the Midwest to invest money?
Well, it's funny. If you go back 10 years ago and you talk to a coastal VC about the Midwest, inevitably the response was, if I can't drive to it, I'm not going to invest in it. And there was a lot of pressure to move companies from the Midwest out west or out east, depending on where the VCs were located. Today, there's an acknowledgement, I think, that there's a lot more going on here. I think you've seen some tectonic shifts in the overall venture landscape. For example, while California and the Bay Area in particular remains the epicenter for kind of the moonshots, the really big consumer plays that require tons of capital, if you look at things that are much more capital efficient, like application software, in many cases that's better done outside of the Bay Area. And the Midwest in particular, you've got most of the Fortune 500 headquartered here. And so you're close to your customers. You can actually find engineers. You don't have to pay them as much. Real estate's cheaper. So there's some really very compelling reasons to come out. And I know that some of the venture capitalists have actually done an analysis of returns by geography. And the Midwest actually outperforms Bay Area, Boston by about 200 basis points over an extended period of time. So it's worth getting on a flight.